Boy, have I got a crazy story to tell you. Actually, a couple of crazy stories. And I got a bunch of questions for Dave. You're going to love this show.
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
And John and I are back for another edition of the Palumbo podcast. John Romano, who was not in Columbus, Ohio this past weekend, but was there in spirit. And I was there. Yes. I got sick as always. Every time I go to that fucking place, I can't escape. I somehow get sick because you know what it is? People don't understand, John. There's like 100. Actually, I heard there was over 200,000 people there this year.
200,000?
Everyone's hugging and high-fiving, and I must have washed my hands so many times that the blood was coming out of my hands. I washed them so many times, and I still got nailed with something like a sinus infection or something like that. But,
well, what always happens is you end up, everybody wants to take their picture with you, right? So what do? They put their arm around you, right? Yes. So your shoulder is nestled into their nice moist armpit, okay? God knows what's brewing in there, in that petri dish. So you got that schmutz on you, and then you go like this. You touch your eye, There's no way, unless you wrap yourself in a fucking condom. There's no way you're gonna go with that many people at this time of year and not come home sick.
Did you ever get like the one person, John, who like stinks to high heaven of like BO, body odor, and they put their arm around you, and then they somehow it like wipes off on your shirt, and the rest of the day you're like, do I smell
terrible?
But you don't realize what happened is that part of their fucking flop sweat that and the lack of deodorant fucking wiped off on your shirt, and now you're thinking, how am I got to change the shirt because I don't want people to think I stink now. So then you got to go buy a shirt from one of the vendor booths, unless you right? And then you put that on because it's like you almost want to throw the other shirt in the garbage because you're going to wash it 600 times. Then it's going to fucking infect the other clothing that you have in the wash with it. So it's almost got to be like put in isolation almost.
It needs to be burnt.
It needs to be burnt is what it needs to be.
When Valerie was competing. And she was repping, I forgot what it was, calendar company. They give you the outfit, and she's got to stand there and, sign her calendar and do, the drill and take the picture. Right. But it's this little tiny skimpy outfit with the little straps and her shoulders are out, her arms are out. So she gets her picture taken with 200 guys who are all putting their arm around her, and her shoulder, it had like a green film on it.
No.
And then she goes to hug me and I'm like, I gotta hose you off first, I'm touching you.
It's bad. It's bad enough that they got the spray tan stuff stinks too that they have on,
The smell.
Then they put it. And then they get the odor from not only sweating, but the other people's sweat that's on them. It's like, can you please get in the shower first before you give me a hug?
Think about it. We have the most odorous industry between the protein farts, the dye, the chemical tastes and smells, and all the supplements, the dust burps from taking too many. All of that shit, man. We have this most stenchy people going to the fucking bathroom at the expo, and you were there. It's like, how do they do that? First of all, how do they get the entire place wet? The whole place is wet. You're stepping on goo, and then it's like, is everybody peeing just on the walls? I mean, how do they do that? The whole
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why the floor's so wet. Yeah, because you know what happens? They stuff up the toilet, and then the toilet overflows. Is what happens. Yeah.
We can fly a drone on fucking Mars from here, okay? And we can't figure out a way to have a clean bathroom at an expo. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
I know.
The smells are just.
I'm proud of myself because I did not eat one sample bar. I did not drink one sample drink whatsoever. I think Sid got two energy drinks that were sealed, and I popped one open and I took a couple sips of one just because I was absolutely dying of thirst. But other than that, I did no samples, and I think that that's the key. And I didn't get gas the whole weekend. I had no gas.
Oh, that's good.
Because those samples, first of all, most of the protein samples they have are are products that have tremendous amount of lactose in them. Either that, or they're like energy drinks or pre-workouts that have like a lot of like glycerol in them, and glycerol does the same thing, or sugar alcohols.
Yep.
Bars all have sugar
alcohol. They got that mannitol baby laxative in there.
And you combined the protein with the protein shakes, I should say, with the pre-workouts, with the bars, and you are a walking rocket ship. You can be firing fucking, live ammo out of your head.
Jet propelled.
You can tell. You can tell too. You can smell it too.
So speaking of drinks, what do you think? I'm doing it now. What do you think of this Element tea? The electrolyte, sodium, potassium drink. Yeah. Everybody's drinking it. My wife is begging me to drink it. I don't understand why 1,000 milligrams of sodium is going to be good for me. Yeah. But what's your take?
I'm a big salt person. I salt everything, because I don't taste salt like everyone else does. I found this out when I had my DNA tested. I sell these kits on my Dave Palumbo site. It's called DNA Power. They test like every variable that you have, and one of the things that came back on my test was that I don't taste salt, and which explains why I put so much salt in my food. But it's actually good for bodybuilding, because you stay well hydrated that way. A lot of people don't eat enough sodium. Now, having said that, you don't need excessive amounts of sodium. Okay, so like I send you the Amino Evolved? Do you get that from me?
Yeah, I use that every single day.
That has sodium, potassium in it already. That has electrolytes added to it. So if you're doing that, more. Yeah, you don't need to add anything else. Yeah, for some people who don't take in enough sodium because they just don't like salt or they don't like the taste of it, it's probably not a bad idea to drink some sort of an electrolyte drink. I mean, even Gatorade Zeros have, electrolytes in them. It's just, they put a little salt and a little potassium in there. That's it. But I think what electrolyte drinks in general are like the new marketing. You know how like there's always something that's in vogue, right? Like what's the new cool thing on the block? That's like the new cool thing. And the reason why it's a new cool thing is because it's so cheap to make these electrolyte drinks. What does it take? You put some salt in some water, and you put like a little artificial flavoring system in there. It's like glorified, Crystal Light or something like that. And so they're selling it because it's big. There's a big markup on it, and the better the marketing story they can give you on this stuff, the faster they'll sell it, and the more they can sell it for. So you're basically paying unnecessarily. Like I said, the reason I put the electrolytes into the amino drink is because I'm like, if you're going to drink amino acids or all day long already, you might as well have electrolytes with them, right? It kind of kills two birds with one stone. But in reality, I could have just taken the flavoring system of the Amino Evolved, and I could have just put the electrolytes in there, and I could just sell that separately as an electrolyte drink if I want to. Oh yeah, minus the most expensive part of the drink, which is the fermented amino acids that are in there. Yeah. So I hate gimmicky stuff, and there's a lot of gimmicky shit that they sell in the market. But the story, think about the collagen protein that they sell. What a great marketing story that is. Everyone thinks now they have to take collagen protein for their hair, nails, and skin. And it's the biggest bullshit story of all time. It started back with Twin Lab. Right? Yeah. Steve Blackman and his family, they were selling that liquid collagen shit.
Cheramino.
It was the cheapest protein you could possibly find anywhere. Yep. It was like liquid tendons and ligaments and cartilage, essentially. Right. They put a disgusting flavoring system into it, and it still tasted gross. Awful. So the only thing they've perfected since then is they've been able to create a powdered version of it and make it taste better when it's mixed. But it's the worst, cheapest protein you can possibly get. If you take in, a whey isolate protein or even an egg protein, whatever, anything that's even a high grade, you're going to get the same amino acids you're going to get from the collagen protein in there.
It's like they think there's a different chain of amino acids that's in. They're all the same.
I know.
Clear this up then.
Yes.
Isn't any animal tissue have collagen in it? I mean, meat, all the stuff you're chewing on, meat, fat, bones, tendons.
We kind of trim all those tendons and ligaments off. But what the good stuff in the tendons and ligaments and cartilage is not the protein portion of it. It's the glucosamine, chondroitin. That's the part we want. So that's why you want to take a joint product like Arthrolyze, because we put that stuff, that good stuff in there. But the protein component of the collagen is nothing. It's a shitty protein. It's not really great. Whey isolate and egg protein are much more protein efficient and better absorbed. But it's cheap, so they're like, "Fuck, we got to throw this shit out before. Now we have a reason to sell it, you know." And once again, it's one of the great marketing stories. Hair, nail, skin. Every woman wants great hair, nail, skin. Let's give them this stuff.
Let's give them collagen.
Let's give them some collagen. And it makes sense, right? Because they can tell you the whole story. And now AI can make you a whole video on how what collagen is used for in the body, which is everything from skin, how your skin is taught.
Hair, nails.
When you're younger, your collagen's more structurally sound. And if you supplement with collagen, it only makes sense that you're going to be giving your body the raw materials it needs to rebuild that face. And it's like going to be a natural facelift. And every woman who's debating to get a facelift is going to try collagen protein now, right?
Try it first. Yeah, of course.
Listen, most of the stuff they sell in the supplement world is sold on marketing,
right?
And I think in Bigger, Stronger, Faster, that movie you appeared in, they were saying how they showed how in certain companies, I think it was Muscle Tech, they were doing like the before and afters. They shot them on the same day,
right?
So they would actually show the person out of shape and in shape, but it was the same exact day, just how they. How they
lighting and photo,
yes.
So look, we're masters at that in this business.
Yes, and now with AI, you can do anything. So it's all it's all smoke and mirrors.
What about the topical collagen? Is that bullshit too?
It doesn't do anything. Nothing.
Does
anything topically work?
No, beef tallow works. Whoa, what was that?
Yeah, what do you put the beef tallow on?
Oh, my face, my head.
Oh, for moisturizing.
Yeah.
You know what's really good?
Lady we met at the Olympia. Remember, I told her how young she was. All I use is beef tallow.
I know. So, listen, if you're Italian, I'm surprised you even need a moisturizer. My skin is so oily. Okay, not as oily as when I used to take steroids when I was younger, but it's oily enough now that I don't need to put any moisturizers on my face. That's for sure.
The only place I get dry skin is on my lower leg, my calves, and
my legs. Yeah, my lower legs
get dry.
Yes,
but the
rest. You know what I use for that?
What?
If I'm not lazy, I have my macadamia nut oil. I'll put that on there. But even better than that, just regular coconut oil. So
coconut oil is really good. I make my own beef tallow. I get the fat. Yeah, I get the omentum fat from that's on the kidneys.
Interesting.
And I have a little pot.
It's not too greasy. It's not too greasy.
What's really amazing about beef tallow, I don't know the technical term for it, but it is a quality about it that does not clog your pores.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I smear it on my face, man, and I in my head, and I have no clogged pores, no blackheads, no.
John, if I smeared it on my face, the amount of oil it would be like the sun reflecting off of my face. They'd be like, "Holy shit! There's another celestial body out there."
Greg Valentino's head when he starts talking about traveling.
Right, exactly. So I can't do that, but that's interesting. I would like for them to start making my French fries at all these places with beef tallow. I don't know have they switched yet or not.
Some have. Yeah, it's an amazing change when you think about it, because that's how it used to be.
I know,
and I remember vividly as a kid. Grew up in Woodbury. when the McDonald's opened in Syosset, that was or was it Huntington? I don't know. It was a big deal. So we had pack us all in the Jeep and go to the next town and go to McDonald's. And those, I still remember, I was probably 6, 7 years old
back then.
I remember how good they were, and they're not anymore. They weren't, now they're good again. So I think they're,
you know what I noticed that they didn't get hard as they do now. Like they actually, they turn like they taste like a piece of petrified wood once they get cold now. And I don't know if that's because of all the preservatives they put in it or something like that, but they didn't do that back then. You could put them you can reunite them. You could put them like in the microwave back then. It's like back to normal. Yeah.
Two or three trucks
which is what happens with beef tallow. It gets solid at room temperature. Right. And then if you heat it up, it becomes liquid again.
2 or 3 trucks ago, I was cleaning it out to sell it. And I took the seats out so I could shampoo the carpet. I took the seats out and I found some McDonald's French fries.
They were still perfect.
Perfect. You could build a house with them. They were nails. They were solid as steel. I go, how? You couldn't break them. I mean, they were like
the preservatives in there must be insane.
Must be insane to turn a fibrous food product into a nail. That was. That opened my eyes right there. Go, what the hell? Not rotted, petrified.
Right? Yeah, well, probably like 10,000 years from now, when they're digging, they're gonna find like French fries still preserved perfectly.
So what do you think about all these text reminders we get these days? I mean, I
need them.
I have 2 appointments and a car service and a dentist appointment, a doctor's appointment for my knee, which we have to talk about, and a car thing for my windshield. I'm getting and plus I've ordered stuff online. So between the orders, PayPal, the company sending me the confirmation email, PayPal telling me they got the money, the appointment reminder for the car, appointment reminder for the doctor, appointment reminder for the dentist. My phone is beeping like crazy. I'm like, enough.
You know what? I have to disagree with you. I love it. I can't remember anything.
Tell Siri, calendar entry, and then I'm good. It's in my calendar.
No, I need reminders. I like the reminders, as a matter of fact, because you know what? I'm like, holy shit, I forgot about that. Thank God. If I didn't get that, I would have missed the doctor's appointment. Matter of fact, I ran to the gym this morning after dropping the kids off. I went zooming back to my house after the gym. Got the cats. I have 2 cats that I was taken to the groomer today. I get to the groomer. He's like, you don't have an appointment today. It's tomorrow. I'm like, motherfucker. So I need reminders. I do. I admit it. I need reminders. I like the reminders. I don't the reminders coming.
I don't mind the reminder. I like when they're self-imposed, that I put them in myself in my calendar. Not that my phone is beeping like a.
No, I want I need the self-imposed. I like the ones that they're rudely telling you that you have.
We'll agree to disagree. All right. So go ahead.
I know. I want to bring up that the demented story that I was telling you about.
Well, first let me tell you about my knee, then we can do the demented, because I have a demented story.
People don't know about your knee. Yeah, people don't know about it. What happened?
Well, I've been waiting for the results. I got the results from my MRI back yesterday.
It's not good. I can tell already.
Well, the MCL is intact, just sprained. What's wrong is the meniscus is torn, and it's got a bucket tear. And as you know, it's called the bucket tear because of that little hoop that's on it, and that hoop is stuck in the joint.
So what do they do?
So I have surgery on the 26th.
But they can do arthroscopic.
Yeah, arthroscope. Yeah.
Well, do you know what an MCL repair would have been like?
Worse?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the rehab would have been brutal too.
Oh, good. I'm glad then.
Didn't you have an ACL repair?
No, I had patellar tendon repaired.
Oh, well,
the
MCL, medium collateral ligament, which first of all, you'd have no stability in your knee if that was torn. I had a feeling that wasn't torn, but
yeah,
that would have been a very big rehab. You would not have been happy with.
But they say MCL is pretty easy.
The
recovery.
I don't know about
No, not MCL, meniscus. I'm sorry.
Oh, meniscus, yeah, because they're just going to go in there and clean it up. You're going to be fine. You're going to walk out of there. So
good.
Yeah.
With crutches, what's this big deal about the crutches? They keep telling me they've called me 3 times The surgery about the crutches. You got to have crutches. Do you want us to buy it? You want us to have them here? Wait, are
They
you going
just
to bring
they
them
want to
with
make
you?
money off you. That's why it's a
Well,
money making.
Well, I
You
investigated.
could charge your insurance $1,000 for a pair of crutches you're never going to use.
You hit the nail on the head, my brother. The crutches at Rite Aid, Walmart, Walgreens, wherever are $29, I think, for the crutches. I'm going to go buy them today.
No,
I have to have them.
I know.
You hit the nail.
You should rent them. You should keep the tags on them and return them when you're done.
I only need them for 3 days. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
You're not even going to use them. You're going to use them to leave the hospital.
Then that's it. I'm bringing them back. $1,000 for insurance, though. $1,000. So I get two emails from one from the surgical center and one from the doctor's office.
Yeah.
My portion with insurance, my portion of the doctor's part is $800.
Yeah,
my portion of the OR is $2,100. I have $3,000 to pay to get, and I got, what the fuck is my insurance for? This is a 30-minute surgery.
I bet the surgery is like $100,000, John. I'll guarantee it.
It would have to be because
I'll guarantee it. You're paying like a small portion of it. Yeah, it's $100,000. I can promise you that
for a 30-minute surgery.
Yeah.
And they're not even putting any device in.
They're probably not even knocking you out. They're probably going to give you like Twilight or something, right?
They better, for that money, they better fucking knock me out.
No, they're going to give you. They're going to knock you. They're going to just put you in Twilight. You won't remember anything.
No. All right.
But
you say so. All right, your ridiculous story now, because this is really ridiculous.
Yeah, pull this fucking guy up. You remember that show, The Power Rangers?
Did you ever watch? Unfortunately, was not a child during that era.
I was not a big Power Rangers guy either. But I mean, I've seen the show, The Power Rangers. I used to babysit this kid who used to watch The Power Rangers. I hated the show, but I had to watch it because mother was paying me.
Right.
And hold on, let me see if I can pull this up. That's not what I wanted to pull up. Why am I pulling that? By the way, that's the new style. That's going to be the new Lipolize.
Beautiful label, man. I love that.
That's going to be the new Lipolize. Our performance end of a species.
All right. So what's in? Well, now that we got it up there, what's in there?
It's no stimulants in there. I'll tell you that much. So
no fat burner, no stimulant.
Yeah, it's just an upgraded form of what the current Lipolize is, but we'll talk about that when it comes out.
All right.
Here's the story. So this guy, Skylar DeLeon, he was in the Power Rangers, if you guys were Power Ranger fans. And he's a nutcase, this kid. I'll read it. In one of the most cold-blooded crimes in maritime history, the former Power Rangers extra, he was an extra, Skylar DeLeon, masterminded a sickening plot to steal a $500,000 yacht from retirees Tom and Jackie Hawks. After feigning interest in buying the vessel, DeLeon and his two accomplices overpowered the couple during a test cruise off the coast of California, forcing them to sign over their life savings and the boat's title at gunpoint. In a terrifying final act of cruelty, the couple was bound to the yacht's heavy anchor and tossed into the Pacific Ocean while they were still alive, begging for mercy. Despite a massive search, their bodies were never recovered. DeLeon, who has since transitioned to a woman, imagine that, while on death row, remains one of the most notorious figures in U.S. justice system for a crime described by prosecutors as pure, unadulterated evil. Talk about a sick mother. You know what?
Tied him to the anchor and threw him overboard?
Alive.
I mean, you couldn't even knock him out first.
Let me ask you a story, since everyone thinks you're a lawyer anyway, because you always give us law stuff. What's like if you force someone to sign over your entire fortune? I mean, how could that even stand up in court? You know,
duress.
That's why that's why they killed him. Probably, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, because they had to get rid of him. Because duress, if you anything under duress is not admissible.
Didn't they think that it would be? Didn't they think it would be a little suspicious? Listen to how dumb these guys were. They have the guys, the family, sign over their fortune to them, and then they kill the couple, and they don't think it's going to look suspicious that this couple just decided, we're going to give these people our fortune, and then we're going to just disappear.
Right.
It's like,
right.
In other words, talk about a paper trail, prison is full of people who thought they knew better.
you know, and they just don't. I mean, that's the dumbest thing in the world, is to leave a trail like that. What do they think? Oh, they sign over the, like, just like you said, sign over to life savings. 3 days later, they're dead. Well, let's see. How did that happen?
Who do they sign over the savings?
Who are we going to talk
right?
to first? Yeah, exactly. So.
How about the guy who inherited the fortune the day before?
The day before, right? It's man.
The dumbest crime it's really the dumbest crime of the century is what it is.
Well, here's another dumb one. I got approached to write a book, and the premise was, because I'm into bodybuilding, so they immediately came to me. The premise was, two guys, bodybuilders, make a deal with each other. The one kills the other one's wife, the other one kills the other one's wife, so that they can walk off into the sunset, happy homosexual couple.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, the guy's explaining it to me. I'm on the phone, and I'm like, who thought of that stupid idea?
Got to be some gay guy.
Yeah, it had to be, right? So, I mean, but then again, you look at the premise, the plots of all of the current media and current entertainment that's out there. The storylines are fucking horrible. How do people get paid to write this shit?
I think AI is writing all this stuff, John. That's what I think.
I
think people have no imagination.
Not only that, I think AI is going to forget. They're going to eliminate the writing process completely. They're going to go right from concept to motion picture without the writing, and then AI will create the whole thing. You won't need a movie studio. You won't need actors. You won't need anything. It'll all be fake.
I'm trying to learn how to do. I'm working. I use AI already, but I want to learn how to do some of the video. Or almost like cartoonish character, like how I always wanted to be able to do my own animated characters, but I wasn't good of enough of a good artist to do it. Plus, it was very expensive back then. Pretty soon, I think it's going to get to the point where anyone could make their own animated figures. If you and I wrote a script for these characters, because I want, this is my idea. No one better steal this idea. You remember what Cosby did with Fat Albert?
Yeah.
It was like basically the guys from his neighborhood, right? And it was a cartoon, and he was in it. Bill, he was Bill, and Fat Albert was like the big fat guy in the neighborhood. I wanted to do like Fat Albert for like the whack pack, for like the bodybuilding industry. We'll all be like characters in the thing, but there's all the little stupid shit that we've experienced over the years.
Be known for, no, like that one card, the one that you posted, all of us, that still picture, that all looked like all of us. It was perfect.
Yeah, I want to animate. I want that to become. I want to figure out how to animate that so that we could then write scripts and have AI create the little cartoons. Like Beavis and Butthead type stuff.
Right. What I've learned about AI from ChatGPT, which is what I use, is that it all comes down to the prompt. The better you are at prompting, the better you're going to get, the better product you're going to get out of it. So
you're right.
You guys are, playing around with this stuff. Just, write me a commercial that does this. You're not going to get a good product.
No.
But if you outline, detail, say what you want to cover, what you not want to cover, check for accuracies, check for legality. It does all of that shit, but you got to be smart enough to know what to tell it to do.
But GTP, which you should first of all you should buy the upgraded version.
Yeah,
Don't use the free version.
Yeah, no.
I actually paid for the $20 one. There's a $5 one too, but you should at least
that one will talk
$5 a month.
You do the one with the voice. You talk to it.
I don't know if it talks to me, but
that version does.
The more you pay for, you get. In other words, when they say there's a new version that just came out, the free one is not the new version. It's like 2 versions ago, and the new version is like 1,000 times more powerful than the last version. That's how they're progressing that quickly. So you want the newest version if you're doing creative stuff,
right? But
chat is great for doing images or getting information. It's not a video. It doesn't do video.
No.
So you need to use a different interface. And there are other ones that do video. But so, for most people, chat is going to be enough, but like I said, I recommend you buying at least the $5 per month one.
I have the $20 a month one.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. It has a speech feature. Yeah.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
I haven't tried it
you can
yet.
choose the voice. You can choose what
And you
accent
can just
you want.
really, you can just talk to it.
Yeah, you just talk. You have a full on conversation with it
Wow.
like a person. It's
Wow, that's
bizarre.
scary.
You ever get?
Yeah.
There's no reason for people to be lonely anymore. I want to get this for Jimmy the Bull.
I was just, you read my fucking mind. I was going to say Jimmy the Bull should have a fucking AI, friend.
Yeah,
He can just be like complained to every night. And you know what's great about that? He won't even have to go to the VA anymore because he can just give him his symptoms and they could, wait till the
robots.
The robots come out. What's his name? Robots.
Elon Musk's robot.
What are they called again?
Optimus.
Optimus, according to Elon Musk, will be better than any surgeon in the world. It'll be the best surgeon, except every Optimus will be the best surgeon.
Best surgeon. Wow.
So Jimmy could have one of those, and he could just fucking complain. I think I'm having a heart attack. No, you're not. And he could have the Optimus robot, examining him like every 10 minutes.
Well, my mother, for example, we had this conversation just the other day. She's 86 this year, this month. And I said, Mom, she's young she's in great health, young spirited. My mother's going to live to 100, but
at least,
she's making, but you get to be 86, you got to start making some plans,
right.
or even earlier. So what she's done is she's made a separate account and has money in it for when the time comes to get a live-in or a visiting angel, live-in healthcare provider, nurse, whatever. I said, Mom, by the time you're ready for that, you're going to spend 30 grand on an Optimus robot. It's going to move into your house with you. It'll sit in the closet quietly when you don't need it, and it'll do the dishes.
I didn't even think about that.
Cooking,
you're right.
It'll clean up. It'll
do
the laundry. It'll talk to you. It'll read you a story. It'll put the right movie on the TV. It'll do whatever you want. And I don't have to worry about you being, and it's going to film it all too, so I can know you're okay.
Right. I didn't think about that. You and I are going to be fine, John, when we get older. I just realized that.
Oh yeah. We're going to be robot cared for.
That's going to be great. And and the good thing is we could curse it out, because, as you get older, like we'll turn into our fathers. We'll be cursing it out and say and it won't matter. It won't care. It won't take offense to it.
And we'll get one for Greg with a strap-on penis to put on it.
It'll give an enema. It'll even do an enema for him.
It'll do his enema for him. Yeah. And it'll do it like he's like reading the news. It's like no big deal. Let me just stick this in your butt. Yeah. So no shame with a robot.
No, none whatsoever. I didn't think about that. It's going to. I wonder if it's going to change. Like you have all these assisted living places that make so much freaking money off old people. I wonder if that's going to put them out of business.
It's going to put a dent in it because if you look, if the cost is what it is, let's say 30 grand, which is the price that's been bandied.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Okay, so 30 grand. How much does it cost per month to stay in an assisted living facility?
A good one?
$5 grand.
5 to 10 grand.
Yes, a month. So in 3 to 6 months, you pay for the robot.
Oh yeah. Plus, people will lease those things, John. They're going to be like car leases,
Mm-hmm. I didn't even think of that. That's true too.
Yeah, you think you and I would buy it, but most people will lease it.
Right. But for someone like my mother who lives a very active, lifestyle, she's got a lot of friends. They're always going.
No, the robot will be driving her around, and the car will just drive itself. The car will drive her around. Yeah.
That's what she told she told me. She goes, after this lease is up on her Mini Cooper, she's not gonna get a new one, and she's just gonna Uber wherever.
She might as well. I think the medical care is really going to be what these robots going to be great at. They could do everything for you. They could revive you. They'll probably even have the ability to shock you if you have to shock your heart and stuff like that.
And they'll be able to contact the hospital, take your EKG, send vital signs. I mean, they'll be able to do like anything for you.
It's limitless, really.
Really. And it's what we need. It's the vision I got from Elon was that the future home is like we have now. Everybody's got a microwave. Everybody's got a music system. Everybody's
by the way, mine's broken, my microwave, and I'm feeling it, John, because I keep trying to go put something in there, warm it up, and like, fuck, I gotta use the stove. How did they do this back in the 70s? I said,
yeah, it's like a wife, but no, the ability to be able to do, or what it is really for me with an elderly parent, it's a peace of mind position that is worth a lot. It's worth way more than the 30 grand a robot costs,
Oh yeah. I wonder how the first robots will be, because I would have to imagine that they're going to advance at an exponential rate, just like the way AI is, right?
Well, the robots are going to be building the robots. So what Elon's doing, Elon's making the first 1,000 or million or 100,000, whatever robots are going to work for him. They're going in his factory. So the way the robots now build the cars, it's going to be in another layer of manual labor that goes on top of it. It's going to completely replace any human being on the assembly line. And that assembly line will be building rocket motors, cars, boring machine, robots, whatever, all the products that he's
interesting.
But what you got to understand is the productivity. These robots are going to work 24/7. You don't have to feed them. You don't have to pay them. You don't have to take insurance out on them.
Well, you got to plug them in at some point, I guess. But
electricity is all you need. That's it.
Yeah.
And so the idea that things are going to get more expensive, I don't think so. I think this level of productivity is going to really be able for us. It's going to make it it's going to make it available for us, regular, human beings, to have things inexpensively, like cars, like, robots, the thing to clean your pool. All of that shit is going to be made by another machine, not a human. So you take that whole element of human problems out of the manufacturing process. Now, what are you going to do? These people got to get new jobs. They got to get trained on how to use AI, how to write AI, how to work with AI, how to do all of this robot stuff that humans need to do. And it's just like, look, when Henry Ford had the assembly line, what was it? It was the car rolling down the assembly line, and humans did everything. Gradually, we went from humans doing everything to robots doing some of the stuff. So you got the car. Now, eventually, it's just going to be all machines, no humans whatsoever.
Yeah, this makes sense. I'm sure they're going to probably send a fleet of robots to Mars too. I mean, why would, before humans, you can just send the robots there to build all the civilizations there. Sure. And once everything's built, then you can send humans there, right?
Why not? I mean,
they don't require oxygen or anything like that. I mean, you could make them solar powered, and they could just stand in the sun, for a few hours a day, and then they could work all night.
And even with that level of incredible technology, your camera's still going to freeze.
Listen, I don't know what the future holds, but it's
I do. Your camera's going to freeze.
It should be pretty interesting. I think that the fact that we have no idea, like we're in territory that we never thought we would ever see before. Like I thought, we when the cell phone came out, I thought that was going to be it. You know what I mean? Like this is going to be it for a while, and all of a sudden AI comes out. Like it's like, and now robot. Like how come all this technology became? Where did it become available all of a sudden?
What's that law? Somebody's law that computer speed doubles every year.
But I remember that. I remember reading. I was really into computers for a while, and I remember reading how they were saying that they had a problem with computers. Like the chip, they couldn't get enough information on the chip or something like that. That the speed will never go beyond a certain amount. It's impossible. And then you never heard about it all of a sudden, and all of a sudden they had like cell phones doing what computers were doing. So I feel like Jimmy was saying this, but alien technology. There must be we must be being given some, extraterrestrial technology that's allowing us to overcome whatever limitations we think we have on stuff. So
what happens is they introduce this into the mainstream.
Yeah.
The phone in the car, for example. In the 1980s, nobody had a phone in their car.
No.
Nobody. No one. Okay. There weren't even cell towers up yet. Sometime in the mid '80s, LA Cellular came online. I remember I had the phone in the car before the cell service was up. I kept calling every day to see if it would start working. But look at what was there was a giant box in the trunk, this huge cable like this thick that ran from the trunk to
the top, the antenna on the top of the car.
Antenna on the top, and then there was another huge box with the phone on it in the console. You know, now they go from that to this, right? Yeah. And who has one of these? Everybody, everyone. So the robot's going to be the exact same thing. Right now, nobody's got one. 40 years from now, everybody's going to have one.
I know. Sick.
I think it's cool. I like it's.
Now, would you prefer a robot that looks like Optimus, or would you prefer a robot that looks like a human being?
No, Optimus. I don't want a human. That's gross.
You don't want?
No.
Why, you think it's too weird?
Too macabre. It's like a dead body when it's like sitting there, you know.
Right.
And then what are you going to get tired of the way they look? And then what?
Well, you just change the face then.
You change the face.
It's like getting a new watch band.
Face from Amazon.
Yeah, it's like a new watch band, you know. There'll be cheap ones, there'll be good ones, you know.
It all remains.
Greg will have like the Joker on his, you know, because him and Lucia will have found it at a garage sale or something like that, or on the curb. Someone threw it out, and they didn't have one, so they said, we'll just use this one." You know?
Or they'll get a piece of one, and they'll save it till they find the other piece.
Yeah, it's like the dead man sneakers he's wearing, you know, when he mows the grass. We're like, why do you have this weird fucking robot like face? He's like, what are we? I'm not going to pay for one. We found it in a garage. You know, it was someone dumpster diving left it out there.
Oh my God, that wouldn't put it bad. Definitely a possibility. So Columbus, what was your standout moment in Columbus? Getting thrown out, was that big? Or
no, yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. That's another.
We shouldn't talk about that.
Yeah, I'm not talking about it. But put it this way: I had my press passes the whole weekend, and I was the only media website there. We did the best coverage, so it worked out well. Put it this way: the Arnold people are very smart, and they knew
wised up quick.
Well, it wasn't their fault to begin with. So.
Well, it was an overzealous security guard, basically, right?
Yeah, it's not even worth talking about. But yeah, someone didn't know what their job was. So.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and
so what was your standout moment? What happened?
I would say that the probably, you know, I guess doing I love doing the wrap ups with, like, I did the wrap up with Chris, obviously, Kai Green, Jay Cutler, Derek Lunsford. Andrew Jack came into the thing. I mean, everyone was there. We almost had Phil Heath too, but he was backstage still doing the live stream. But you know, to have that level of you know, people who are so well respected wrapping up a show on RX Muscle, we're like the only media website backstage at all. I mean, we've come a long way. We started this thing in 09. You know, after, you know, Bleckman, you know, let us go. And you know, we said we're going to be number one, and it took a while, but you know, we're there. And I think that it's the respect thing. You know, people always, you know, stop me, even if you're not at a show, they're always like, "How's John doing? You know, we love you guys. We watch you every week." And you know, between you, me, Chris, Sid, you know, and the whole Whack Pack, I mean, it's like we're still family. You know, when we started RX Muscle, the whole thing was build a bar like Cheers, you know, build a website like, you know, where people can go and hang out with their friends, even if they don't really know us. They know us just from watching us every single week, and so they've been with us for 17 years. I mean, these people, a lot of them, and some of them are just catching on and just listening for the first time. And it's great because we can share all the experiences we've had with them, and then we could also share even the new stuff. And we're still making new stuff. So I think that the validation I get every year from going there and people saying thank you that you're still going and doing this, because, you know, we look forward to watching everything you guys do on the site, whether it be the crazy fun stuff, the serious stuff. We respect your opinions. We respect the fact that you're not afraid to tell the truth. And so, you know, it validates what we're doing and keeps us doing it, you know, essentially.
I like when people tell us that the new guys, the young guys say, "Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
watch you guys all the time." And that first of all, it's the young guys and the women. I don't get it. I don't,
Women,
why
yeah.
why are you watching us? Okay.
Well, the women, I know the young guys
do
like
not
it.
understand it. None of us are good looking. None of us have any, rap. I mean, why are women watching us? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. We don't talk about anything that is like women centric at all, But
Yeah.
but the young guys, to me, when a guy in his 20s recognizes me from the shows, to me that means
Right.
more. Not that it doesn't mean a lot, but it means
Yeah.
more than an old timer, recognizing me, because they've been around. The fact that we attract at our ages, at our mental states, that we're actually attracting younger people, to me is a tremendous compliment, because
Yeah.
basically it shows you that the truth has no bounds and it's attractive to everybody.
You know what it is, though? I think, back in the day when we read magazines, there was a historical part of the magazine that was always in there, which kind of gave you the history of where the sport came from. Weider always had it in there. Iron Man would have it in there. And so you would kind of learn about what, your roots of where bodybuilding came from, who were the guys who, did it back in the day, and how things evolved from that point on. And since there's no magazines, there's really no one doing that. And I guess, people want to find out where this thing originated from. So when you listen to a lot of the stuff we talk about, they get that from us because we were there,
Right.
maybe not in the beginning, but we know the stories from that. But we were there from the 90s. And as far as most people today are concerned, the 90s might as well just be the 1950s, because that's a long time ago. A lot of these people weren't born then.
No, they weren't born yet. They weren't born until this
They
century.
want to know about Flex Wheeler and Kevin Levrone because they're still alive, and they want to know what they were like when they competed and all that stuff. So I think that we give a historical perspective in addition to having the wisdom to kind of cut through the BS. Because I think a lot of the guys today, the young guys, they like to expose fraudsters and stuff like that online.
Right, yeah,
but they don't really know what the truth is. They've been educated by Instagram and TikTok, so they tend to believe a lot of what they hear on there rather than having their own opinions, or rather than even knowing the science of what's going on. So I think a lot of young guys realize, you know what, I can watch the younger podcasters for entertainment because maybe I could relate to them a little better because they're younger. Right. But I'm not going to be educated by these guys because I'm finding out that these guys really don't know what they're talking about. A lot of what they say is because they're marketing different companies or they're marketing their own shit they're selling, and which is fine, but that's not how they're going to learn and about how to do diets, supplements, drugs. I think that some of this crap about drugs, I see women, and there's nothing, listen, I don't want to put down women at all, but, like a 25-year-old woman who's giving steroid cycle advice to professional bodybuilders probably doesn't know what she's talking about. She's internet educated, more than likely, and she's trying to sound, like she knows what she's talking about. And I've listened to some of these people. It's like they're parroting. It's like they've memorized Wikipedia. And so technically they're giving, it's like they're reading from a textbook essentially.
Right.
And there's no practical application because a lot of these women are good looking and there's no way they weren't taking these drugs themselves. If you haven't taken the drugs, you can't really give people a firsthand experience of what these drugs do. So that there's a component of being a great coach where you actually have knowledge and then you have experience. And then the experience can be broken down into two different types of experience. One is actually training people and getting them in shape as a coach. The other is actually using the drugs and building muscle and burning fat yourself.
Right.
So if you've done that before where you've competed, okay, and used the drugs, and then you've actually coached people, and then you also have knowledge because maybe you went to school or maybe you took my Secrets to Becoming a Diet Guru course. Now you're a powerful force, but not many people have those three things. If you're some 28-year-old woman, you're not you haven't probably done 1,000 milligrams of testosterone a week.
No.
Nor should you. Nor should you.
But whatever they're riding the coattails of everything that we did, 30 years ago.
You realize they're riding the TikTok videos that other people are doing, and they're just parroting it. Which some people are good at parroting,
which got it from us. It came from us.
Right. Well, yeah, of course. Right? Well, yeah, it came
you
from.
You realize I'm the first. I am the first person in our industry to give himself in its shot on camera.
That's right. You are. You're right. Before Boston Light did that.
Yeah. Right. Before Boston Light, before it was chic, I gave myself a shot of juice in my shoulder on camera.
Michael Zampano, Dan Duchesne, and probably Bill Phillips were the first three people who really created reading material about steroids.
Yes.
Before that, there was nothing. It was nothing. It was like you had to ask guys in the gym, and most people did. These were guys that were barely high school graduates. Right.
Dan's book, The Underground Steroid Handbook, the first one, not two, the first one, was absolutely the only available knowledge on the subject at all. Even the physician's desk reference said in the anabolic steroid section, they don't work. Exactly.
They don't work.
They don't work.
Yeah.
So that's how far we've come.
So, now people ask ChatGTP, for steroid advice.
GPT.
GPT. Sorry,
I was doing this. You know how you remember it? GP, like a Moto GP, like a race.
Yeah, you know why I say GP? Because I'm thinking ATP. That's why I say that. Yeah,
I was doing it too. But you got to get this straight. It's like everybody from New York stands online.
I'll just call it chat because that's what everyone else calls it anyway.
Just call it chat. It's like everybody from New York stands online, right?
Online, yes.
Everybody else stands in line.
Right.
And so when I'm saying online, where? What app are you using? No, I'm waiting over here.
New Yorkers have their own language for sure.
But there's certain idioms that are born in New York that you only understand if you're a New Yorker. Like when you go to a restaurant, you buy some food. Is it to stay or to go?
Yeah.
Where else do they say to stay? They say for here. For here or to go. In New York, they say stay. There's hundreds of them. But
we also say retarded, and we don't mean that you're like mentally challenged.
Mentally irregular,
yeah.
Although some people, yes.
Some people are.
But retarded could be something that's so good it's retarded. It's not always.
It's how you put your intonation on it. Yeah.
Yep.
So
you got to be.
Now it's like politically incorrect. You can't say that to anyone.
Can't say anything anymore.
Everyone's offended. Well, speaking of offended, I was, you saw what's been going on with Martin Fitzwater.
Yeah. Oh man,
this poor guy has been vilified.
I feel so bad for him, man. I want to have him on here to talk about.
I reached out to him. We talked, him and I, through Messenger, or whatever, and he's going to lay low for about a month because social media is not good for his head. He's not done competing. He's going to compete. He's going to just focus down on his businesses. The guy's got plenty of money. He's won a lot of prize money. He's invested it well. He doesn't need bodybuilding to make money. I told him the best thing that ever happened to him was that the sponsors dropped him. Now he has no obligation to anyone. He can start fresh, ignore everyone, do his thing. The guy has potential to be Mr. Olympia one day.
I think he's got it all in him.
I think he might get to that point at some point. And he's young enough, he learned the hard way, that these people are fine feathered friends. They don't really give a shit about you. As soon as they will turn their back on you in 2 seconds, as soon as you're persona non grata, and that can be dictated by the masses, or as I like to say, the mob, the internet mob. I call them the social media mob.
Very good way to put it. Yeah.
As soon as you're not the guy that they want to fancy anymore, and they want to shut you down and try to cancel you, you're done. And you can't argue with these idiots. You ignore them. I told, listen, you can post on social media, just don't read the comments. Who gives a shit? You think I read the comments? I don't know what anyone writes.
We don't. I never. Maybe 1% of the time I read our comments.
No, I can't even get John
to get aggravated. Like, I'm never reading these fucking.
I can't even get him to go on Instagram and check.
I don't even. I hate Instagram.
I'm like, did you see the message I sent? He goes, what message? I don't check there. I said, can you please just take a look? I said.
I don't check.
All
you people out there, I don't go on Instagram.
No,
So,
he's going to be, but Martin's going to be fine. And you know what? It's disgusting how everyone treated him. You know what? So what? He didn't punch out Nick backstage. He pushed him, whatever.
And kudos to Nick too for holding it together. You know,
right? But I'm saying Nick realized that he was being ridiculous, and he was so. That just shows you Nick's level of maturity. You know what I mean? So
right.
Believe me, if Nick felt threatened in any way, I'm sure he would have retaliated. No,
that would have been a brawl. But the sponsors dropping him are, to me, egregious because especially in this industry, because the owner of those companies either is a bodybuilder themselves or is intimately familiar with bodybuilding. For them to not give Martin a pass on the absolute psychological torture that you go through to compete, the physical torture, the social and emotional torture that you go through, that you can't cut this guy a break for losing it. I mean, he's a fucking human in one of the most devastating displays of human nature that you can possibly do is a bodybuilder. How critical do you have to, how much thick skin do you have to be a bodybuilder?
John, they're acting like it's like the company's Johnson and Johnson or something like that. They're a bodybuilding supplement company. No bodybuilding's offended by, and then they're going to stop buying their products because Martin. If anything, they might buy more products because of Martin. You know,
exactly. I think that no less. I think that the industry is going to look at these guys dropping him for that. I'm not using your fucking product.
Right. No,
anymore.
I'm saying I think if with Martin's outburst he had, I think they would have bought more product. It's like the Rich Piana effect. You know what I mean?
Right. But dumping him, I think, is the stupidest business decision you could have made, and I'll bet you it turns out to hurt him in the end.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to help them. That's for sure. It's just going to look like they abandoned him, you know. And it's the guy didn't do it. What did he do? Did he kill someone? Did he throw anyone overboard attached to an anchor alive?
No. For 3 minutes, he was a sore loser. That was it. That was it.
What? He walked off stage when he lost the Olympia.
You got to cancel his contract for that? I mean, and I will bet you, if you dig into the closets of the CEOs of the companies that dropped him, you're going to find more skeletons than fucking Martin's got. Okay, so these people are full of shit, and I hope that the market, the industry takes this in and realizes what a dumb fucking move that was and punishes them in the marketplace.
Yeah, I agree. It's sad. It really is sad.
Yep, you know, it is.
They should have doubled down and supported him. Is what they should have done.
That would have been a smart thing. That would have been, wow, look what this guy just went through. Let's support him and help him make a comeback and help him, turn it around.
Meanwhile, that retard with the face who got his face, he fell on his face and he claimed that he blew up.
That said it was an IED.
Everyone's forgiven him because he's fucking retarded. That's why. Once again, we could use that word.
Yes. Well, he looks retarded. So
I'm saying that's why people are forgiving him. It doesn't. They feel bad for him. So
I said that was going to happen.
Martin's got his shit together too much, and he looks too good. They're like, oh, this guy's got too much going for him. We got to cancel him. You know.
They tolerate all the egregious bullshit, and then they take something that. How many times have we, over the decades that we've been covering this, have we seen guys not like their place and throw a fit? It's happened a million times. It's not.
Didn't hurt Titus until he killed someone, but but he was fine.
He took his number off and threw it across the stage. Threw his trophy against the wall. I mean, that's okay. Yeah.
Listen. It is what it is. It's a sport where people get very emotionally charged up.
Yeah,
it's
the funny thing to me is a bodybuilding cottage industry clutching their pearls. To me, that is such an insane visual. You cater to the most misfit what do you call it? Mutant people in the entire world. Every single one of us has a psychological problem, and you're going to hold them to that standard that if they have an outbreak, you're going to cancel their contract.
Right?
It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame, but whatever. I think he's better off this way. You know,
I agree with you.
I think it was too much pressure on him. I think he's better off with no pressure. This way, he doesn't have to be beholden to anyone. You know what I mean?
Well, look at Andrew Jack. The guy is an electrical engineer. He's made more money on it than he'll ever make on bodybuilding already in his career. Okay, that's a grounded guy. Okay, he can just compete and train and do whatever he wants. He doesn't have to worry about sponsors and money and this and that. A lot of these guys get roped into this existence that they got to be a bodybuilder, and the bodybuilder's got to be a bodybuilder and nothing else.
Right.
And that's what hurts every single one of them in the end, because bodybuilding doesn't last. It just doesn't. There's a handful of people that had open businesses like Labrada, like you, like Richie, who have been in business for decades, and they're making their money off the industry. And that's a testament to our, the fact that we support each other. But overall, the whole industry is full of misfits, and you got to appreciate that and have some empathy for that fact.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. And look,
it wouldn't help if these guys had some mentoring too.
Listen, Andrew won the show, but he's not. He's not that. He's doing like work at like 4:30 in the morning, prejudging. I mean, he doesn't have his, he's not a normal character either, so
there is not one person in our business that can qualify as normal. First of all, you have to define normal, which is almost impossible to begin with. And then you have to find who conforms to that ideology. In our business, forget about it. There aren't any.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I want, how we kind of set the stage for next week's After Hours with the whole Larry Pollock versus Goob guy.
Is it Goop or Goob?
Goob.
Goob.
G-O-O-B. But the Goob guy now I think is backing out, because he's like, oh, you already talked about it on the show. I said, then we set the stage so that when you come on next week, you could disprove and say Larry's full of shit, because that's what you basically said on your video, right? I said, believe me, we'll break Larry's balls if he's wrong.
And bring the receipts. You said you had them.
I think he knows now that Larry has the proof that Larry was right. That's the impression I'm getting, because otherwise, why wouldn't he want to come on? Like, he was all gung ho, and now he's like, well, you already talked about it. I don't know if I want to come on. I'm like, well, you should want to come on. If Larry's a liar, why wouldn't you want to expose him?
Exactly.
So I haven't heard from him. I'll reach out again, but I have a feeling that he might have gotten his facts wrong.
I think he did. And
Larry's not the lying type,
He is that. If any of us are not a bullshitter, he's in the top of the list right there. I mean,
and I feel bad for this Goob guy if Larry ever gets a hold of this guy.
That's going to be bad.
Goob's like, well, he never showed up. I told him to come by my booth at the Arnold, and he never showed up. I'm like, you're lucky he didn't show up. I said, because I had to stop him because he wanted to kill you. I said, he's like, what? He was pissed off that Larry didn't show up. I was trying to tell him that I saved his life by Larry not showing up. Yep. I said, you would have been overboard with the anchor with that other couple.
Tied to an anchor alive.
Yeah, tied to an anchor. You'd still be floating in the fucking Pacific right now. I said, if
my God, what a way to go. Holy shit. What the fuck?
Could have added to his movie right there. That would have added another
What do you think killed them first? Drowning or the pressure blowing their heads in, squeezing their heads?
I don't know. That's, I would imagine. I
mean, a big heavy anchor, you're going down pretty quick.
They probably survived the plunge into the water. I would imagine they suffocated. I
mean, they drowned or their heads exploded.
Drowned. Yeah, I would say they drowned.
Think the pressure might have crushed them before the.
You think so? You think they went down that? Because remember. Yeah, I guess the anchor would drag you right down.
The anchor would drag them. If it was heavy enough, it would drag them down pretty quick. When you're descending, if you did not any diving, you got to push. That's why the mask thing, and then you got to push your nose and clear your eustachian tubes of the pressure.
Yeah. Well, maybe if they blew their brains out, from the pressure, that would probably be a quick way to die rather than dying of suffocation.
Yeah,
or drowning, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, God, way to go. God.
It's like a nightmare scenario, right? Yeah.
Oof. That's going to affect me all day.
This story. Be burnt at the stake. This guy who did this. Yeah.
So, I mean, death row is too good for this guy.
No, it's not good enough. And
he transitions to a freaking whatever.
Well, now he could have sex now.
Yeah, now he can have a wild sex life in prison while we're paying for it. And meanwhile, there's 2 people at the bottom of the ocean that were shark food.
What? Hold on. You kill 2 people, try to take their fortune. You realize you're the dumbest person on the planet, right? Because you get caught, and you go to jail, and you're on death row, and and you say, you know what? I don't want to be a guy anymore. I'm going to turn into a woman. Like, what did he think they were going to transfer him to like a women's prison? This guy.
I wonder what the thinking is behind that.
I think that's what he probably thought.
Wow.
He probably thought, you know what? If I'm going to be in jail the rest of my life, let me at least bang some chicks. So I'll pretend I'm a woman,
Instead, he's going to be getting the ham in the can for the rest of the time.
maybe that he wanted to do that. He figured if I'm going to get ham in the can, I might as well be a woman, right? So
there you go.
They won't say I'm gay, right?
Good. There you go.
We should ask Greg to do a little investigative journalism on this one. And see
he would be the perfect guy for it. Yeah.
Greg, can you go visit this guy? We'll fly you into California. Oh, I can't get on a transfer.
We'll do it.
Lucia's got to come with me, and where am I going to stay? I can't do it.
Save the money and send Lucia. She'd go.
Yeah,
send her. She'll do a better job than him anyway.
Yeah, he'll cancel the flight 14 times.
Lose his bag. Yeah.
All right. Well, this week we didn't have a guest on, but I think people want to hear our opinions anyway. So this was a good show, and I think Anthony Roberts will be up later this week. I don't know when this will go up. I don't know if it's going to go up this week or the following week, but we're going to get back on schedule now that the Arnold is done.
Yeah, good. And, that was a good show with Anthony. That was a good.
The Derek show was very popular too that we put up. So
cool. Good. This is working.
All right. Guys, leave Martin Fitzwater alone, please. And
please, come on,
don't go on any ships that have heavy anchors because you never know. You might wind up.
Don't hang out with Power Rangers.
There you go. For now, I'm Dave Palumbo with John Romano for another edition of the Palumbo Podcast. We'll see you next week.